Over 1 year ago in this hardcore world, I trapped 100 villagers in a hole underground. But ever since then, I haven't really treated my villagers the best, as you can see. So today I'm going to change that by building the ultimate villager trading station, and this turned out amazing. Also, we're quickly closing in on 4 million subscribers. So if you enjoyed these videos and for some reason you haven't already, press that subscribe button. It's free and it'll only take you 2 seconds to help me reach this goal. Anyway, enjoy the video. And I've just been kind of debating with myself where I want to build this thing. Obviously, I want to have it pretty close to my spawn here. I was thinking maybe over the back here somewhere, since I haven't really used this space at all yet. I mean, yeah, why not? So let's start it off how I always do, and let's just tear down the forest. For today's build, I wanted to build it into a hole underground, and I had the perfect idea on how to get started. And from the last episode, I actually have a ton of TNT left over. I might be overdoing it a little bit, but let's just create a massive explosion. Here goes nothing. Oh, kind of missed the explosion, but this gives us something to work with. But that should save us a ton of time having to dig. All right, and now I create my iconic circle. Okay, so now that I've got my circle area marked out, it's time to clear out the area. Here we go. Once I had my fun with the TNT, I decided I should probably just dig the rest out, since it'd be much neater. But first, I needed to repair my shovel. Every time I do a project where I need to dig, I always put off setting up a beacon for some reason. I really should just go make another beacon. It'd probably save me so much time. And I was also thinking it might be helpful to do another circle here. I think I want to flatten around the outside of this circle a lot more too, because this is the lowest point and it is way different to the highest point over there. It's like 5 blocks difference. So I'm going to start off another circle, and then within that we'll start flattening out the land inside of it. So up top here, I'm going to take it down about 3 blocks, and then I'm going to even raise up the land a bit on that side, and then I'm going to work on blending it all in. Right, now I've created a nice even lot of ground all around the outside of this main inner circle. So now I can actually determine how deep this hole actually is. Let's start off by aiming to dig this hole 10 blocks deep. So this is where my hard work has gotten me so far. I've got a giant hole in the ground, but the idea is I'm going to have like 2 layers with different villages spread out across in like different sections. So I think it might be a good idea now to get ahead of it and actually transport 2 villages into this space so we can start breeding them, because we're going to need a lot of villages in the future. Now, instead of taking one of my many villages that I have down here, I think it may be cooler to transport our mending villager that we have here, since, you know, I've left them in this hole since the beginning of this world. Now, the fortunate thing is I know I have this rail track over here, which I've used previously to transport villagers in my world. So I'm just going to connect up to that and reuse that. But if I remember correctly, I actually broke this track to build a giant melon mansion. So get in the thing. Get in the thing. Hey, there we go. All right. Damn, look at him go. Go, go, go. Welcome home, villager number 1. Don't run off. All right. And for villager number 2, I think it might just be easiest if we just grab this guy right next door. I don't even remember what your trade was, but I think you've suffered in this hole long enough. That's not good. After successfully transporting 2 villages across my world with 0 casualties, I got a ton of beds, a ton of bread, and my villagers were ready to make sweet, sweet love. And now it was time to go collect some blocks to build with. All right, first up, I want a ton of quartz. I don't know if I have much in my piglin trading farm though. Yeah, that's kind of pathetic. Next block up is some more white terracotta, actually. And conveniently, if I make my way over here, I've got a nice layer that I've already started down here. Now, every build needs a lighting block, and my favorite lighting block in the game is the sea lantern. It is so loud down here. Why is it so loud? And the next block up is some more sandstone. That's right, I'm here to demolish this desert even more. All right, and since I'm going with this nice white theme for this build, I think we'll make some white concrete. So after spending 2.5 hours collecting what I hoped would be enough blocks, it was finally time to start building our villager hub with an ancient ruins vibe. But before we do that, for every episode of Hardcore Minecraft, I plant another 200 melons to this melon farm. So if you want to see this melon farm slowly consume my entire world, make sure to subscribe. All right, let's get actually building. So first off, I'm going to go all the way around the outside, building our first layer. And now I want to start trying to work around the edge of this thing and prettying up all the walls. Oh god, this is a horrible, horrible tragedy. Oh, there you go. You're fine. Our villagers are coming along well. We already have like 7 of these guys. Right, and now I've got to try and create some staircases which will allow us to, you know, get up and down. All right, look, this whole thing's a bit of a mess, but this kind of works. Maybe I'll just simplify this. Okay, I've just thought of another block I can use in this block palette. Glazed white terracotta. Right, the vision's becoming a little bit clearer now. As you can see, that is a lot of villagers. As you can see, we now have like 2 little sections in each corner of this area, and what I'm gonna do is kind of dig into this area a little bit, and I'm gonna create little stalls for each of my different villages. At first I really struggled with the small amount of space I had and planning to fit 3 villages in each stall, but after coming up with a plan and doing a bit more decoration, I was ready for the fun part. Moving the villages. Alright, these guys definitely can't open trapdoors, right? Alright, well, there we go. 3 toolsmith villagers just chilling in here. I like how they have a bit of space, but I kind of don't like how they're all bunched up in this corner right here. So if there's some way I could maybe separate them. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. Oh, I've made a grave mistake. Where are you going? Alright, get in that corner. Can you escape from that now? After wrangling all 3 villagers and humanely trapping them in one place, I finally had my first villager stall complete. And all I had to do now was replicate this 7 more times on this upper floor. Update time. I have now successfully got all of my villagers up here into their little trading stations. And now moving on, I think I want to finish off this top layer before I go downstairs and do the bottom layer. So I need to fix up the area between the stairs. I want to add some more blocks to the ground here to make it a bit more interesting. Okay, so with the top layer pretty much done now, it's time to focus on the bottom layer. I believe I now have plenty of villagers and it should be fine for me to get rid of all these beds. No, stop breeding or I'll have too many. I'm gonna want to dig down this layer a bit more now. Maybe another just 2 layers down. This is kind of bad because I'm getting rid of all these torches. I hope no mobs spawn down here. All right, so first step I think I want to do is I want to plan out my staircases. Much like earlier, my first attempts at staircases were really overcomplicated and sometimes simple is best. All right, so obviously I've left 1 step missing because I don't want to allow my villagers to get out and escape just yet. Then I had to start planning my villager stalls down here. Unlike up above where I had 8 spots, down here I was going to have only 4 between each of my staircase. All right, so I've got a bit of a plan for how these rooms are gonna go. This is a quick example, and first up was gonna be my librarians. Since this is going to be a library, I figured let's get some bookshelves in here to decorate it a bit better. And by the time I had finished decorating, the 4 villagers I needed had basically already found their way over to this stall. So with 1 stall down, I only had 3 to go. I'm really getting there. I really just need to fix up the floor now, and then the build will be almost done. Okay, so I've made a lot of changes that I'm actually really happy with. I changed all the floors to these this mixture of light colors, the sandstone, the white terracotta, the white concrete. I had used it all in the walls, but it really didn't stand out at all. And I had so many of the blocks left over. So I thought it would be good to put it into the floor, and it looks much better, I think. And also now I've got this pool of water in the middle, which is cool. I'm gonna add something to that later on. But for now, I want to fix up the walls and the outside. And I want to give this thing like a Colosseum vibe and have like quartz archways circling around this whole thing. It's going to take a bit of figuring out. I can't lie. Yeah, I don't really know if I like this better or not. It makes it a lot more busy, and it kind of makes it kind of hard to see around, but it's maybe cool. So the Colosseum style is definitely coming along. That looks grand. That looks tall. That looks epic. But I'm actually going to change it up now. And as I continue on around, I'm going to have it slowly start like breaking down a little more. You'll see what I mean as I start building it. From up close, it looks a little weird being broken down, I think. When you fly away and you see it from a distance, it looks really epic. That looks great, I think. And now it's time to add the most questionable detail to the whole build. A giant tree right in the center. There's a reason I say this is the most questionable detail of the whole build, because there's something I just don't like about this tree. I can't figure out if I made it too big or if I made the shape really awkward, but I'd love to hear what you guys think, whether this tree improved the build or not. Regardless, with the tree now finished, all that was left was some much needed finer details to really finish this build off. All right, so I feel I've successfully livened the place up at least a little bit with a bit of green, a few lanterns hanging around as well, makes it a little cooler. But I really want to make this place look like super busy and like, so I think what I want to do is have a bunch of blocks laying around that look like stock. Just as an example, around the Fletchers, I could have some gravel. Or of course, near our librarians, I could set up some bookshelves. Oh, and another thing to try and bring some more color into this, I'd love to start using some more banners. And I know you can put special patterns on these things, but I think just some extra color from these things is all I really need. So with the addition of some banners, flowers, and a bunch of blocks all over the place, finally I can say my villager marketplace is complete and it looks awesome. Let's check it out. And just like that, it is finished. So all that's really left to do now is to start actually trading with these guys, leveling up my villagers a lot, trying to unlock some better trades and such. There's so many items around my world that I would usually just waste and get rid of. For example, in my gunpowder farm, I get a bunch of string that clogs this up. The countless fish in my guardian farm. I can now trade all this to fishermen. Even all this rotten flesh that I get from my gold farm, I can finally use. And of course, I always have a ton of iron blocks. So I ran around doing a bunch of different trades and leveling up all my villagers. But there was one trade in particular that was most important that I unlocked. I finally upgraded all of my farmers up to the level where they all have a melon trade. So that is really going to be my secret weapon to getting unlimited emeralds. And that's the story of how I built a villager marketplace in Minecraft. If you want to keep following along with the journey of this hardcore world, or if you want to help me reach 4 million subscribers, don't forget to subscribe. Cheers. Oh hey, if you haven't already, go follow me on my Instagram and Twitter for additional WadZee content. And speaking of additional content, I've also been posting quite often on my second channel as well, so go check it out. All links are in the description.